Hey, I'm here at Light Harvest Solar today, and I'm getting my RV set up with a lithium-ion solar kit. Well, I was just in Fry's getting these drives, and for $1,000, I could have got a generator that would run my trailer like off of propane or gasoline. No problem. That $1,000, that generator would pay for itself in 30 days. At the rate that I pay for, although I'd need a little more stuff really to completely, but I mean, if I just wasn't staying in RV parks like every night, like if I owned some property and I could be out on the property and I could stay out there for a week or two, a month or whatever, or even a month or something, for a while, just to not be blowing money, gas, driving, all this stuff. So that's kind of, once I get all the stuff out there and everything's secure and set up, then I can kind of do that mode. My goal is to have a solar/wind built out into a shipping container with iron Edison batteries, which are nickel iron batteries, which they last for like 30 years, and they can be discharged down to zero without harming the battery. And the liquid in the battery is not poisonous, not corrosive. So it's just a way cool system that was literally like, the technology was suppressed back by the oil barons. They used to run electrical cars off these batteries, and there's still some of them around that are 100 years old that are still working. So the only drawback to the batteries, they're heavy, they're large. So, but when you're talking about off-grid, then that's not a huge consideration. So yeah, my concept is to kind of get this solar equipment and get it up and running on a shipping container. That way I'll have power. And if I have power, then I can just build stuff. And build out, ideally I'll be able to build out, I got all these shipping containers. I'm probably going to use them to build like an earthship type of structure. Probably, take them apart, use certain parts of them, or maybe not. I might just do a earthship like with tires and stuff, because these shipping containers might be better used for other kind of structures on the farm. So I don't know. I'm just doing whatever I can afford, and whatever is gonna not get me in trouble with the county, the code and all that. Yeah, I don't even know if you can, I can't imagine why you couldn't build out a little power plant in a shipping container and plop it on your property. But who knows? There's regulations against everything. I've been looking at properties. You can get, for some reason, there's this like 80 acres is a number that's frequent, like that-ish number of a size of properties, which seems like it's like kind of a good number, like 80 acres. But all the ones that are hella cheap, the land is like, it's got something going on. Like, for instance, this one has a high tension power line cutting right through the middle of it. And feel free to look up health problems associated with high tension power lines if you want to know why I don't want a piece of property with high tension power lines running right through the middle of it. 80 acres or not. No. So then there's like another one that's like a fully 4x4 out there, it's like crazy to even get to it. And then there's another one that is landlocked, so it doesn't, so there's a road that goes pretty close, within like a couple acres, but it's separated by other people's property. So there would have to be a purchase of a little piece of property to make that property accessible legitimately, to be able to legitimately do anything on the property. Sure, you can just buy it, just drive across somebody else's property and just camp or whatever, probably without even being an asshole. But that's really not, I mean, I need to have a piece of property that I can legitimately build structures on and legitimately get stuff delivered to. And if you don't have like a decent road, then you're pretty much SOL. So I don't know if I'll end up with 80 acres. It's looking more and more like this 10 acres in Prineville for $18,000 is going to be probably what I'm going to get, just based on the fact that it's so affordable. Like, I just cannot beat that price, because there's some other considerations. Like, I have these shipping containers that I have to get delivered to the property. So if I would have had them delivered to the property in California, that was about $13,000 or more. If I have them delivered to this property in Prineville, we're talking under $5,000. If I get them delivered to some property in Christmas Valley, that would be about $8,000. So that's the whole reason I'm buying property. Well, not the whole reason, but it's a big reason why I'm just buying property outright and not going into some kind of, I just don't want to do debt. I'm just over the whole debt thing. So I'm just buying a hunk of property and getting all my stuff out there and just, you know, being secure with not having a bunch of money going in the wrong direction. Like right now, these shipping containers are costing me over $500 a month. There's another storage unit that is $200 a month, but that one's going to continue because that's where the crew can access any of the prop stuff they need. Then I've got a trailer, a cargo trailer on a lot that's costing me $45 a month. Then I've got a camping trailer that's costing me another $65 a month, right? Which I really need to sell that camping trailer. That's really what I gotta get out of that camping trailer. But where I'm gonna park it while I'm trying to sell it is the key. If I can get it into here into Portland somewhere, then I'd be all right. Once I get all my rents down to pretty much nothing, I mean, the business is gonna cover the freaking cost of that one storage unit. So once I have everything delivered out there, my freaking expenses will be, I still have like $27,000 in debt still. No, more than that, like 32,000 or something like that in the hole in debt. And I'm trying to be, oh no, it's even more than that. Holy shit, yeah, I forgot my truck. So I'm pretty much in debt $60,000. Great. Most that's taxes and truck. So my quest to have no debt is gonna take a while. My bills will be pretty effing low though, as long as I can get to staying on the property for extended periods of time until I get this whatever income revenue stream figured out. And I got to get all this done before the weather goes to whatever kind of winter mode it's going to go into, because that's going to shut down everything. I'm not going to be able to get shipping containers delivered. I might not be able to get my trailer in and out of there. So it's like, hunkering down for winter. Hey, I'm here at Light Harvest Solar today, and I'm getting my RV set up with a lithium-ion solar kit.
You need to know when your battery's full and empty. It's not good to draw them low. What you want to look at is the voltage, right?
Oh, okay.
The number. On this particular setup, it's this number right here. Okay, volts. Right? So do you want me to give you a quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so the number you want to look at is this number, the voltage. That's your basically how full your battery is. On the lithium battery, it's going to be almost empty at about 12.7. It's going to be pretty much totally empty at 12.5. And after that, it's going to drop rapidly. If you get to the point where it gets below 12.5 and it turns off because it's got a automatically low voltage disconnect on there, that's not really super good for the battery. So try to avoid that. Once you get about 12.8, start to turn stuff off. Once you get about, don't let it get to 12.5.
Okay.
It's done at 12. It's done. It'll be totally empty very shortly after that. But this is the number you want to look at. That's the voltage. That's the rate of recharge in amps. This is almost irrelevant. That's how much rate of recharge in watts. Cool. The two most important things are the very most important thing by a long shot is that. That's how full your battery is, and that's your rate of recharge.
I went to the solar store to get an inverter for the trailer so I could run some drives when I'm in transit. So I've wanted a solar system on the trailer, and just like it just was the right time. This guy has all this equipment, and I was able to pick up a lithium-ion solar panel kit for $2,300. And that will enable me to run tools in the boonies. So I have a piece of property, I can pull the trailer out there with the solar setup and start building stuff. And then once I get to the next point with it, then I can build up a solar power plant. A solar wind power plant is the concept. In one of the shipping containers that I have. And that system is about, it's an expensive system. The battery is $8,000. So, $8,000 battery, and then the panels are another $10,000. And then everything else included is about a $25,000 system. And that doesn't even give you like full-blown unlimited power year-round. It gives me an okay. It gives me some power. It gives me some power in the winter and gives me a load of power in the summer for 25 grand. And that's this guy's system. And he does not like the iron Edison batteries at all. He's like, oh, they're so heavy and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And this guy's whole life is solar, though. I mean, that's his thing. Like, I'm just some guy that wanted the solar, so I go talk to professionals. Oh, it's one of those days. Oh, boy. Needed a different inverter because the one I bought isn't really going to do everything I needed to do. I jump in the car to go grab the inverter and the tools, and the guy's like, well, I don't know if I'll be in there. And I get out to the fucking storage unit after driving, and I figure I'll hit the post office box on the way. I'm now heading all the way back to Wilsonville from the storage unit because I forgot the keys. I didn't think I would need the keys, but I forgot I had my toolbox locked. And I need a bunch of specialty tools to do the solar install that are locked in the toolbox. Just doesn't end. And it's all my own fault. I'm just so busy doing all this shit that I just like, oh, I don't need the keys. And like, yeah, I did need the keys to get in the toolbox. So I have to drive all the way back now, and now I'm just gonna go forward because I have everything I need, I'm pretty sure, to install the solar panel on the roof. Like, I might need, I don't know, I got a big drill. Might not need a hole saw. Anyway, I think I got everything I need to install that solar panel, so I think I'm just going to try to install that solar panel right now. That way, it's not just sitting leaned up against the back of the trailer. I mean, the wiring is the wiring, but mounting that thing and getting the wires and getting that all weather sealed in to where it's not going to go anyplace, that's a whole job within itself. I had to buy a ladder to get up there, literally. I mean, the roof of the trailer doesn't have a ladder on it. So I got up there, I looked. It's not going to be that hard, but I got to get it done. It's a little bit, like my freaking stud finder. That would have been super nice to have right now, to find the studs where to put screws, but I found this video with pretty good directions in it that has like this whole system where you drill a hole and then you fill it full of epoxy and then you put your little thing that you screw into, you put that little plastic receiver piece down into that epoxy filled hole, basically just turning whatever hole you just drilled into like the perfect receptacle for a screw. And then there's this whole process with double-sided tape and this putty and this other sealant stuff as well. So there, I mean, you're cutting a hole in the roof and drilling things, cutting holes, screwing holes in the roof. You know, that's super, like, pretty much have to have that just dialed in so perfectly when you do it that it's not going to fuck up at all. And I was super sketched about doing that, but after watching it, and like, these people really they really put some thought into this, because it's like they turn the hole into that epoxy filled freaking screw hole, and then you got the double-sided tape that's holding the rest of the bracket in place. So you got the screw going through there, and then you got this putty that goes around the whole bracket, preventing water from getting under it. And then you put this other stuff, caulk stuff, self-leveling, roof fixing stuff on there, and bam, good to go. So I'm heading down and suffering in traffic right now to go do that, since I forgot the keys. Now I have to make a whole nother trip now, just exactly what I just left to do, although I didn't go to the solar place, so that's a benefit. But I just ran and grabbed my tools. My tools were in the storage unit because I've been using my truck as a hauling device to move the office, and I just unloaded everything out of the back of my truck. And then, of course, I decided to do this whole solar project on a whim. You know, I had already decided to do this little upgrade to be able to run all my drives and such. I had already decided to do that, and I wanted to do solar. But basically, when I was like standing there and I'm doing the math and like thinking about everything, like with this solar unit I just bought, I can run power tools. So I mean, my welder, peak of the day, I might be able to weld on that solar panel that I got. I guess it's just a badass new solar panel that just super badass. So I was like, you know what? Let's go for it, because being able to run power tools off grid is probably going to be super handy when I buy this vacant piece of property and there's just nothing there, you know. I mean, my whole concept of building a basically like a off-grid power plant to just have power on the property. Well, that starts with one of the shipping containers. Well, the shipping container's full of other stuff. So, I mean, I need to get it there. I need to empty it out. I need something to put it into. You know, I mean, tools. So, yeah, I've got one shipping container that's got a car in it. But, of course, the car is all the way in the back. But once I get everything out from in front of it, and I get the car out, then I have a completely open shipping container and all the just out somewhere. I'm looking at Quonset hut style tents. I might get something like that. Maybe even just like the fabric, and I might like do the poles, welding, bending the poles all myself, possibly. Just for like a temporary structure to sort through. Look at all this stuff. It's just ridiculous stuff. Some stuff is just garbage. Some stuff is valuable. Currently, having some kind of covered area out of the dirt that I can sort through all this stuff, repack it into a shipping container. I doubt selling it is going to be an option. Selling anything is going to be an option, like out in the middle of nowhere. So it's pretty much like I'm sorting it, I'm getting the valuables, I'm sending stuff off or in other loads in trailers. So I can fill a trailer up with something, maybe like put it up online for sale or something like that. Certain things. Other things, you know, honestly, it's been a couple years since I loaded that. There's a hot tub. I know I want that. But off-grid hot tub, like, that's going to be a crazy amount of power. But then there's a green screen, too. I could probably sell that once I get it unpacked and freaking divide it out. So, yeah. And my concept is kind of a Quonset hut with the shipping containers, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna just get like a bunch of pallets and lay out the pallets and then just cover them with plywood and nail the plywood down, and then just make a temporary floor out so I have something to put stuff on. I think that'll work pretty good. It'd be pretty cheap. You could probably build out. I'd probably get a whole trailer load, truck and trailer load of shipping container, pallets for next to nothing, and then a load of plywood. That'd probably be like $300 or $400. So I could have a floor for $300 or $400 or $500. $500, screws, gas. And that'll give me a place to work with the stuff, pull it out, go through it, repack it. Just a lot of wasting time, but I got to do something with it. The shipping containers are worth $3,000 a piece, so having a shipping container just sit there with a bunch of junk inside of it, you know, I mean, it's pretty much my job for like the winter time. Like, I got to hurry up and get a piece of property and get the shipping containers delivered out there and get a dry floor in for as cheap as I possibly can, and then just spend the winter basically dissecting these shipping containers and pulling everything out and storing some stuff. And I honestly don't know if I'm going to be building my power plant this winter. It's kind of a huge expense to build a power plant, so